Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Chinist. Today is May 3rd, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, and I have my haul here of 23 with 19 different titles. Kicking it off, I actually went to 3 different LCSs today, and I had this on subscription at the first LCS I went to, so I got my one copy there, and I actually went to a third in order to pick up 2 more. So this is sold out online already. I think it started selling out last week, I think, or this past weekend. So this title actually hits like 2 genres that I love, which is, knights, the medieval times, and zombies. This is, I believe, is a retelling of our past, to where the Black Plague, which was, really a virus that was transmitted to humans. It came from the rats, but it was transmitted to the humans by way of the flea, which is what transmitted the virus, which killed out, I think, about 25% of the human population at that point in time. So yeah, so in this case, the virus is actually it's the zombies. So I don't know if, again, this is telling to where our current past was really zombies and we didn't know it, or this is like a, alternate reality to where at this point in time when the Black Plague occurred, it was actually zombies in that case. So yeah, I'm, really looking forward to this title. I have high expectations here. So yeah, Pestilence. Next up, we have Noble. This is from a small publisher. I think it's Catalyst Prime. So, I'm really interested in anything that has superhuman powers, that are out there. I think there's a shout out to, I think Comic Power, I think was the one who recommended this title here. So yeah, anything that really has any superhuman powers, mutant abilities, as I started out with X-Men, really intrigues me. I'll give at least 1 to 2 issues a shot just to see where the storyline goes. So yeah, this kind of fell in that realm. So yeah, Noble. Next up, we have Eternal Empire. I would not have picked this up normally. This was a recommendation from the owner at the one of the LCSs that I typically go to, from the Luna Brothers, and I think I picked up the Sword recently through Comic Bento by the Luna Brothers, which I have not read yet. But so this artwork is a little bit lower on my scale, maybe like a 2.5, 2.75 out of 5 in my opinion. But again, really in it for the storyline here. The owner really talked this one up. I don't know too much about it, so going to be looking at this one open-minded. Eternal Empire. Okay, next up we have Brutal Nature. I checked out the first Brutal Nature by trade. Loved it. It was in the Amazon. Everything really comes from this mask that gives the user the powers of the certain animal that's required at that point in time. So it kind of varies depending on what's going on in that situation. So that the first one was really in the 1800s on the first series that happened. This one's actually in the future. So that's pretty cool for the title to really span those 2 timelines there so drastically. So yeah, so again, this one really keeps in line with this mask that has this these powers, and you find out that there's good and there's evil, 2 different characters that are using this this power in the future here. So yeah, great artwork in my opinion. It's kind of like a 4.25 in my opinion, more of a heavy metal fantasy type of artwork. So yeah, Brutal Nature. Next up we have the Rise and Fall of Captain Atom. I've enjoyed this one so far. Captain Atom, you find out, is really from the past. I think he was in the 60s. His suit was damaged. He actually exploded. When he exploded, they assumed that he died in the past. You find out when he exploded, he actually went into the future, into our current timeline. I believe this is going to get into the Justice League America, I believe. He's going to become a member in the future, but You know, this the storyline was pretty interesting in my opinion. You know, I love anything that spans various timelines or alternate realities, and I was never really too much of a fan of Captain Atom outside of the Justice League animated series. So yeah, interested in knowing a little bit more about him, and this has been pretty good so far. This is number 5 of 6, so we're almost done with this one. Next up, we have XMen Gold. You know, I think this was kind of on hold to double check the artwork, just to make sure there weren't any subliminal artwork messages that were left over. Not really sure if they found any, you know, during the time of the delay or not. But I've enjoyed this one so far. I enjoy the characters that are part of this gold team, you know, versus the blue. I'm picking up the blue as well. I'm getting back into the mutant world within the X-Men realm. And, you know, I enjoy everything so far. You know, I just really don't... you know, I'm not a fan of Kitty Pryde actually being the leader of the X-Men. You know, I just don't know if she has the experience / capability in order to lead a team, in my opinion. She's always been like more of a supporting character. But yeah, you know, I've kind of enjoyed both X-Men Blue and Gold so far. So yeah, ready for the ride. Next up, we have Nova. I understand they're going to be canceling the series, is what I heard from JT on the comic board. So it was actually JT who got me into Nova, or got me back into Nova, and I've enjoyed this so far. You know, I enjoyed Rick Rider, finding out what his previous history was within the Nova Corps, him going into the Cancer universe, coming back, his issues that he's going through, and coming back to life. You know, I'm getting more of a background of was it Samuel Alexander, who's part of the Champions, which I also picked up this week. So yeah, I do enjoy this title so far. I'm a little bit disappointed that they're going to be canceling this this title here, you know, again. So yeah, Nova number 6. Okay, so next up we have Valiant. We have Faith, and she's one of the Psiots, one of the I guess one of the premier Psiots that are out there, part of the Renegade team. So I've enjoyed Faith so far. You know, as I've said in previous videos, she's kind of geared more towards the college age, in my opinion. I think in the storyline here, I think she's either 19 or 20 years old. So she's trying to appeal to that certain age group that's there, and you know, for some reason I connected with her. I don't, you know, as I stated before, I don't know why. So in this title, or this current arc, this is really developing her rogue gallery, her nemesis that she happens upon quite often. And in this one, they're actually teaming up, so you have kind of like a Flash, you know, rogue feel to it. So yeah, Faith number 11. Okay, next up, this has been hyped up, you know, really quite a bit. This is cover B. I enjoy this one over cover A, to tell you the truth. But yeah, so this is Injustice number 1. This is the ongoing video game. The new game is going to be coming out. So this is the storyline that kind of kicks it off, and I think this is going to follow the video game, you know, pretty much. You know, precisely. So I enjoyed the first Injustice that came out. You know, I was a fan. You know, followed all the years so far. And, you know, I enjoy the alternate storylines that are out there. You know, I like to kind of, you know, spice it up, change it up just a little bit. You know, alternate timelines, alternate worlds, you know, that always kind of interests me, just to get a little bit more than what's out there on a monthly basis. So, yeah, Injustice number 2, or Injustice 2 number 1. Okay, so next up we have Jean Grey. I do not believe I'm going to pick this up as ongoing. You know, I'll see after number 1 if I'm going to pick it up or not. But of course, Jean Grey is the leader of X-Men Blue. And again, you know, just like Kitty Pryde, you know, she's been a huge character, you know, since the 60s, since she was the Phoenix. And, you know, just like Kitty Pryde, yes, you know, she's been on the team for decades, but you know, all the storylines that I've been involved in, I just don't really see either as a true leader. you know, Cyclops or someone else, I really always saw them as a leader, you know, based on their character, you know, based on their personality that's conveyed in these, you know, story arcs that we see. I never really saw Jean Grey as a leader. So, you know, again, I do enjoy the X-Men Blue so far. I'm going to read through this number 1 to see what it's about, but I don't anticipate picking up this as an ongoing series, but you know, I never know, so we'll see. Jean Grey number 1. Okay, so next up we have Champions. Love this series. You know, I love a lot of the teenager superhero team-ups that are out there, and you know, it's really the various dynamics that are here. I enjoy the Hulk more than anything at all. Amadeus Cho, his personality, you know, like his smart ass, you know, high intellect type of feel to it. I feel he interacts well with Miles Morales, who's, you know, somewhat, you know, similar to Peter Parker, but a little bit more toned down as smart of a, you know, as far of a smart ass, you know, aspect of it. I think Sam Alexander as Nova, you know, at times he chimes in as a smart ass as well. So, you know, I guess my personality, I am a smart ass, so I enjoyed reading about, you know, other smart asses out there. You know, I guess that's just the way it is. But yeah, so I enjoy the dialogue. You know, this is really, they go after that social aspect in here. They haven't had a lot of strong, you know, adversaries in here so far. They're kind of lacking that, but you know, like a lot of social, you know, real life brought into this title here. So, you know, if you're looking for that, this is for you. Okay, next up we have the Dregs, number 3. I actually passed this up on when it came out number 1. I think I picked this up either in Blind Comics or Comic Boxer. Enjoyed number 1, so I picked up number 2 on as a ongoing series here. So in this one, you have like a, you know, high society neighborhood who is actually feeding on the homeless that are in the area. These restaurants, you know, they have this process to where they will capture these various homeless people. They'll process them and feed them to the people. Again, I don't know if the people are aware. I don't believe so, but not sure if they're aware if they're eating people or not. So I haven't figured that out. It hasn't been clear yet, but pretty interesting storyline, you know. I'm willing to see where the rest of the series goes here. Maybe like another 3 or 4 to see if we're going to pick this up ongoing or not. But I enjoy it so far. Okay, next up we have Extremity number 3. I think both LCSs actually sold out of this at the end of the day. I picked this one up through my subscription, but I've loved Extremity so far. This is kind of like in a future apocalyptic type of world. You know, think of a Mad Max type of world. You have various civilizations or various communities are kind of scattered, you know, throughout the landscape, and you have this one dominant, you know, violent community who's gone in. They pillage and, you know, take over resources, things of that nature. And of course, the main character was an artist. Her right hand was the hand she used for artwork. Her hand was taken by this competing community. And this is basically her revolting and you know, kind of getting revenge, standing up for her community that was kind of pillaged. So yeah, great artwork that kind of goes along with the storytelling here, and I would highly recommend this. I think this is going to like a 3rd printing now at this point in time for number 1. The storyline is great, guys, so far. So highly recommend this, Extremity. Okay, next up we have Justice League. I was on the fence of canceling this one. You know, I heard Endless was going to be like another, you know, time travel type of alternate reality. So, you know, that's what I highly enjoy. That's like the number 1 genre that I love. So I'm going to give this one more story arc. You know, that last story arc was just, man, okay. You know, I'll give it like a 3 out of 5. So again, on the fence of canceling this title, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna give it one more title here, or one more story arc. So Endless, I'm gonna give it one more shot, guys. Next up we have Predator. This is Hunters. I used to collect quite a bit of Predator titles back in the day by Dark Horse. So I saw in previews this was like, you know, the new story arc that was kind of going on. I wanted to kind of jump in, kind of see what was going on in the Predator world now at this point in time. You know, both Predator and Aliens, I've always loved Predator more than Alien. I saw the kind of some previews of the artwork here. I thought it was pretty decent. You know, maybe like a 3.25, 3.5 or so. So yeah, Predators, man. I think I probably have maybe like 10 or 12 different story arcs in my collection at this point in time, so looking to get back into it again. Okay, next up we have Savage Things by Vertigo. This has been a pretty good ride so far. You know, a lot of action. You know, imagine a team of Jason Bournes who are out there kind of operating as one entity who's rising up against the corporation / government who kind of put them through all these trials and tribulations in order to get them to this, you know, super spy, you know, Black Widow type of status here. So interesting ride so far. You know, I wish the artwork was just a little bit better than what's here so far. But yeah, interesting storyline so far. Savage Things. Okay, next up we have the adaptation of the Rogue One Star Wars. So I was not too much of a fan of the movie. You know, I felt the storyline was really weak. A lot of loopholes in there. You know, there's a lot of cool action scenes, you know, I'll give it that. But overall, the storyline I felt was really, really weak as far as character development. And, you know, I wasn't too much of a fan of Jen. There wasn't just enough storyline for her. My hopes in this story adaptation was a little bit more added storyline from what we saw from the movie representation. You know, I did hear that there's a few novels that are out there now who give, you know, some more, you know, past, a little bit more background from what happened in the movies that, you know, fills in like a lot of holes. But yeah, you know, Rogue One was, man, mediocre at best in my opinion. Okay, next up we have Damned. I picked this one up only because it's $1. So this is kind of like a gangster type of genre with demons. And, you know, I normally pass up on the gangster mob genre, you know, just because I kind of feel it's all the same. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you know, just go kill the guy. And it seems like they're always outside the law, and it's just like a lot of talking, a lot of drama. It just seems like, man, just go kill the guy. So anyways, I usually pass up on the gangster mob type of genre. Again, I picked this one up only because it was $1, but I did hear that the storyline was pretty decent, and so far, this is by Cullen Bunn. I've enjoyed almost everything that I've read by Cullen Bunn so far. You know, I'm not a fanboy of him by any means, but I have noted that I've enjoyed almost every storyline that I've read by Cullen Bunn so far. Straight up nostalgia, Underdog. So I just picked up #1. I will not be picking this up as an ongoing series. You know, growing up, I saw every single Underdog cartoon show there was. I mean, I was glued to the TV screen, you know, growing up when when anything that was really superhero related, you know, Super Friends back in the day, you know, a lot of the Voltron mecha type stuff. I loved all of that. So I'll read through this one, you know, really more of a nostalgic type of feel to it. But yeah, Underdog. Alright, so next up we have Swordquest. This is, you know, a collaboration with Atari. I never actually played Swordquest. And I did hear that, you know, just talking to the owner of one of the LCS, that you didn't really have to play the game in order to understand the storyline. So I picked it up really as a recommendation from him. And, you know, I was in the Atari generation. I just didn't play Swordquest. You know, I was over there playing, what was it, Commando, you know, a lot of the Centipede and some of those other games. I just kind of passed up on Swordquest, so I'll see what this is about. #0. Okay, so next up we have Batman, and this is #3 of the Button story arc. So I picked up 2 of the lenticular covers. I'm going to keep one in my collection and one as a reader. So I have highly enjoyed the Button story arc so far. We've had one through Batman number 21 and then one through Flash number 21 as well, I believe. So I've really enjoyed it so far. Looking to see how the Watchmen are really tied into this DC universe at this point in time. You're starting to see some things coming in from Flashpoint. I just reread Flashpoint this past weekend, just to make sure I picked up, all those little clues that I've been reading here. So highly enjoy this. When this comes out as a trade paperback, I'll probably pick it up again, just kind of read through it, which is, just one more time. But I've been a huge fan of this. The Button, regardless if it was either Batman or The Flash, has been my number one pick week to week. Highly suggest this one, guys. Okay, last up we have Secret Empire number 1. So I was lucky to pick up one of the store incentives that they had out there. I think this one was going for like either $25 or $30 on Midtown.com. So I picked up this cover B, which is still only cover value, cover price value, but I picked it up as my reader. I enjoyed the cover here. So I have not been following Captain America at all, other than YouTube. So I'm aware of all of the Captain America Hydra storyline so far, and I really enjoyed number 0. I heard it got like a lot of negative reviews, but I really enjoyed the storyline. I thought there's a lot of things kind of going on. In my opinion, they could have stretched it out just a little bit more, but the fact that Steve Rogers was always Hydra, I thought that was awesome, because talking to friends and things of that nature, I heard that the Cosmic Cube only altered his mind. So you'll find out that it was only thoughts that were kind of placed into his brain, but you find out that he was really Hydra like the whole time. So all of these decades of reading through what you thought was Captain America was false. So I thought that was really awesome, man. So I'm sure they're going to reset everything back to what everyone knows and loves. But man, I think them kind of stepping on this Secret Empire so far has been a really fun ride. So I'm really looking forward to this storyline to see where it goes.